Every day at high school, I was mostly just a bored and simple student. I didn't feel confident, I wasn't in the mood to talk to people, and I really wasn't the type of person who could hang out all the time. In fact, I sometimes wish I'd just sit back in the class and just be a ghost and never sit next to someone, really. Unfortunately, sitting in the back row of the class is a little too much of a popular spot for students at the time. Even so, I just still keep my conversations brief. I let someone else do what they want and make sure that I'm the last person in line every day. After school, I just watch some cartoons and watch some videos on YouTube, and I start thinking, it'd be cool if I could do sounds like those guys. So I started mimicking animal sounds to see how well I replicate. It, and the first sound that I ever did was the cricket. It sounds simple, but it's actually really hard if you can't roll your R's and whistle at the same time. Whenever there's a silent moment in class or no one is around to talk to anyone, or like when the teacher's not saying anything, I just make the sound, and then everyone was just shocked and they all laughed at the same time. And from that on, I started mimicking a lot from the stuff I've seen and heard from anyone or anything. And which is actually just a simple way of how I describe my dominant trait, which is mimicry. The actual definition is the art or action of imitating someone or something. I enjoy having to mimicate different characters and things all the time. Whenever my sister goes on Twitter or on her phone, I just usually like to mimic the notification bell. Like I usually just like, and she, she always like to check up on her phone every time I do that. It kind of annoys her, but it's funny. And then I also like to be committed to every role I take from every play I do, and even when I'm singing, I usually almost sound like the singer that I try to be. And when I sing, I usually just like to be that person. I usually do a good Frank Sinatra, but that's not the point. The real important thing is that the my most the one of the most inspiring characters that I usually do are like the cartoon characters. Animated characters from like cartoons or animated movies are like one of my most inspiring things because they're full of personality. They're so much fun, and the voices just really just bring the whole character together. Sometimes I like to imitate SpongeBob. Yeah. I sometimes like to imitate Bugs Bunny. And sometimes I like to imitate the Joker. So from that on, I just started to make a goal. And one of my biggest goals is to audition for every different animated studio so that I can actually be in a role for a movie or a show. And because one of the biggest things I love to do is to make people laugh. And I thought I would share my talent for the whole world to show my funny self, the great self. And no matter what bad things may happen to me, I'll never go down because I'll always keep going to reach for that goal.